Any engine you're going to need to overhaul from time to time. With the two-stroke KTMs, typically a top end will last probably between 150 to 200 hours before the piston and rings need replacing. But it's a good idea to monitor the conditions of the rings, and a handy tool to do that is the compression tester. So this video I'm going to show you how I do my compression testing. So this is the compression tester I have. It's a OTC and the model number is 5606. And inside the box you get the compression tester with a hose with a quick fit fitting and a couple of hoses. Both of these are M14 fittings which will fit the KTM cylinder. But one of them, you can see the threaded area is quite a bit longer and it's labeled M14LR. That means long reach. And it matches the length of the spark plug. So it's important to use the long reach one. So when you're doing your compression test, the volume inside the cylinder head isn't affected by the tester itself. So make sure you use the long reach one. And there's a couple of other adapters which you can use on other motorcycles or cars. One important thing to note is that compression tester you can pretty much use on any two-stroke engine, but a lot of four-stroke engines, they have auto decompression. I know the 500 EXCI had auto decompression, which means you can't do a compression test, and you've got to use a leak down tester for testing that. So two strokes, no problem. Four strokes, some you can, some you can't. So you just need to be aware of that. One other important thing to note is the quality of the compression tester. This particular OTC unit is meant to be reasonable quality, and the readings are meant to be pretty repeatable over time. So that's important because I compare my test results to the reading I got when the head was new or the bike was new. If they're not repeatable, then the measurements are pretty much meaningless. So I'd recommend you get something similar to this. Maybe better to avoid the really cheap units. So I've already taken the tank off and I've cleaned this area so there's no dust which could drop down into the cylinder, and as you can see I've already taken the spark plug out. I do my compression tests cold. It's often recommended you do it with the engine at operating temperature, but I think the main thing is that you always do your compression testing under the same conditions. So like I said, I do mine cold, so each time I check it I make sure the engine's cold and not hot. If you want to do it hot, that's fine, but each time you do it, you should make sure the engine's at the same temperature. What's really important is the relative measurements. So when I put the SX head on, I measured it, and at that time it was 210 compression. And when I do the new measurements, I'm measuring with reference to that 210 point. So typically the compression will go down with age, and what's important is how much it goes down. If it suddenly drops down, that would indicate something's probably wrong with the rings and needs replacing. So using my adapter hose with the 14 long reach, just screw it in, make sure it goes in straight. And it needs to be a snug fit. The adapter comes with an O-ring, so it seals pretty well, so you don't have to have it super tight, but you want to make sure it doesn't leak air. So just get it finger tight. You don't need to use a wrench or anything. Then get your compression tester and attach it to the adapter hose. And in this case I'm going to secure the compression tester so you can see what happens when I kick the engine over. To perform the compression test, you need to kick the bike over pretty strongly and multiple times. So be sure to put some boots on or sturdy shoes like these work shoes. You certainly don't want to use any flip-flops or lightweight sneakers, because you could really hurt your foot. Okay, so now I'm ready to start the compression test. So you basically just kick the engine over until the compression tester needle stops going up. So try and kick nice and hard and smoothly. Right, and that's pretty much stopped going up now. Okay, so you can see the reading is pretty much spot on 210, which is exactly the same as the reading I took when I fitted the high compression head. I fitted the head when it was about 10 hours, so over 80 hours it hasn't changed at all. So that indicates to me that the engine's still in good condition, especially the rings. So if I overhauled the top end now, it would probably be a bit of a waste. So what I'm going to do is wait. My plan is to do it at 150 hours, but I'll probably take another measurement between then and make sure it's okay. And certainly if I notice that the power is dropping off, I'll do a measurement and investigate. Then when you finish the compression testing, be sure to release the pressure. So this one has a pressure release here. And then you can safely remove the adapter hose from the cylinder. I thought some of you would be interested to see the colour of the plug I've been using. This particular plug I've been using for a couple of months. And as you can see, I've cut away the end section of the threaded section. The reason being that the most important part of the plug to check for colour is down here on the insulator. And you can see here is a nice tan colour. Behind it is a regular plug, so you can see how much I've cut off. One other important thing to note is that I'd use this plug normally. Often if you want to check the plug colour, a recommended test method is to ride the bike on the main jet for a little way and then hit the kill switch, take the plug out and check the colour. This one I've just been using normally, as I say, for a couple of months, so you can see it's got deposits on it, but the colour down here is quite nice, which would indicate it is running well. If this colour was white, then it would indicate the mixture is too lean. If it was all black, it'd be too rich. So that this is just one reference point. I would place more emphasis on how the bike feels when you're riding it rather than the plug color, but it's still interesting to look at. One tip I have when you replace the plug and put the plug cap back on is to smear some silicone grease on the plug body, the insulator part. I've found that with the tank on, it's sometimes extremely difficult to get the plug cap off if you need to. Like when you're riding, for instance, if you've fouled a plug, luckily I haven't done that, but some of my friends have. With the tank still on there, you don't have much room and you have to use your fingers to work the cap off. But with this rubber, it fits quite tightly against the insulator and it can stick quite easily. So what I found is if you just smear a small amount of silicone grease on the insulator, the cap can slide off a lot easier and it makes it putting it on it easier as well. So I'd recommend doing that.